Yo, welcome back to another episode of Wake Up with Wops. The market is hot. I forgot how it feels just to see all this green on my watch list. Look at this move from the SPY. From the bottom of under the 200-day average straight to the top of the range. This is something that nobody could predict. But if you follow my channel and you don't believe what I'm saying, go check my past videos. We've been talking about this. In extreme fear, we were actually bullish, and then we remounted the 90 MA and the SPY. And just look at that, going above the 200-day average to the top of the range. Now there's going to be some resistance here. Watch for pullbacks or any types of consolidation. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a shakeout in the market. People thinking we're back, and then 2, 3 red candles kind of wipes people out. But this is still looking like a beauty. Look at the QQQ, same thing, above the key moving averages. They're all curling up, pointing up for upward momentum. And then IWM actually held the 200-day average. So this was actually stronger than the SPY and QQQ, breaking now and just looking like a beauty. Now let's get into the title of the video: selling a stock to get some profits and entering into a new one. AMD, I took profits on this trade just because it looked a little bit extended, but look, today we're back up 3 to 4%. It is what it is. I took my gains on this even though it's up today. I held it because it was just consolidating while the market was pulling back, and it held that 200-day average. So I was willing to hold through those days and weeks, and now we finally got that big run. Took profits on this. I love AMD, one of my favorite semiconductor stocks. Any pullbacks or consolidations, I wouldn't mind entering again to see if it breaks out of this next resistance around 261, 265. I also took partial profits on CoreWeave. We've been holding this. We even held through earnings, and we were down 20%, and now back up 25%. So I took some profits, and then I moved my stop loss to entry level. So this is basically a free trade. And the reason why I did that, if we go on the weekly, it is one of the nicest weekly charts right now in the market. It's looking like it's breaking out from this IPO high. And once it breaks out, it's really going to run. And I think it could even reach to 185. So that's why I decided to take some profits and then hold the rest to the IPO high. Really like CoreWeave. And then if it drops down to my entry, I'll get out, free trade, and then I could always re-enter. Rocket Lab is the new entry. I entered in yesterday around 70, and now it is at 72. Remounted the 50-day average yesterday, and it closed above. So that's why I entered right before the close. And then it gapped up today, and now we're above. Look at the moving averages. If we zoom in, the 90 EMA is the blue and the pink starting to curl up. It's going to cross over and hopefully reach our target price of in the 80s. And it looks like if we zoom out, it's just a pullback continuation pattern. So I'm liking this. It's an aerospace and defense stock. So when the SpaceX IPO hype drops, I believe other space stocks are going to do good. Now let's go over some stocks that could be entered. ARM, this is a semiconductor. I like how it just broke through the 200-day average and now is consolidating above it. Let the moving averages catch up, and I think this is a good entry. Oracle, right now, I'll probably wait for a little bit more of a pullback, but I talked about this on X. If you don't follow me, Wake Up with Wops. I tweeted about it yesterday, so if you listen to it and enter it, you would be up 4% right now. So anyways, this strong candle right here, remounting the moving averages, 9 EMA, 20, and the 50-day all in one candle. After just stabilizing here, it could have easily broke down any of these tries, and it didn't break down. And look at that strong candle. Today gapping up but pulling back. It's above the upper Bollinger Band, so it's a little extended, but any pullbacks, let the moving averages catch up, then that'll be a good entry. I really like Oracle. You could target the 216. If you're targeting 216, you could probably enter now with a loose stop loss. HIMS, I'm watching this for a potential entry as it's just staying above the moving averages. You can see if we zoom in, the 90 EMA is curling up right above that yellow line, which is the 50-day average, and it's holding the 20-day. So we would want just the moving average to continue going up and then have some upward momentum to reach the target of 38. But there's earnings in 27 days, so I don't think it could jump up that quick. But good quick trade here that I'm liking for a swing. JP Morgan, I want to get exposed to banks, and if you guys know, I like JP Morgan. We had some successful trades on this. Breaking out of the 200-day average, the moving averages are curling up. Let it catch up. Right now, earnings came out and they surprise beat everything, so I'm loving it. I really like JP Morgan or any financial banks to enter. For instance, if you're bullish on banks, you could just do XLF, which is the finance sector. So JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, they're all in this fund. And if you want a little bit more risk, you do FAS, which is a 3x leverage. It follows that index fund, just 3x leverage, so it's more volatile. Iron looks like it could be bottoming out right now. When we zoom out, it's holding that trend line now back above the key moving average. A little extended right now, but any pullbacks and let the moving averages catch up. I'm really liking iron. This was a very, very hot stock back in 2025. Look at this run it went on, and then it's just been kind of in a deep pullback since then. I got four more bonus stocks that also look like it's bottoming out. Meta had a very ugly chart. We talked about it in one of these videos. If you entered, you'd probably be really happy because it was like a 2-3 day trade. This was a trade idea, so I did not enter into this, but it was just very extended. And when Meta gets extended, it usually jumps up quick. We're targeting the 50-day average on this example, and it just blew past that. And now I think if it gets above the 200-day average around here, above 682, and it closes above that, I think Meta will be a very, very good entry. IONQ up 19% today with some news, I think, with the government. Looks like it is bottoming out, remounting the moving averages right now above that 50-day average, which is the yellow line. Could probably enter with a loose stop, target the 200-day average. Hood, very, very hot stock. Look at this. It was a very big top and then it started bottoming out and now just consolidating, and looks like we could be reaching out or breaking out of this bottom. Look above the 50-day average. Market closes soon within like 30 minutes. So I'm really liking Hood for a potential ride back to the hundreds or 107 where the 200-day average lies. And lastly, Coinbase. Crypto's been doing pretty good lately, so looks like it's kind of bottoming out. When crypto does good, I believe Coinbase is going to do good. It kind of just moves together, and then you can see above the moving averages and holding 90 EMA is curling up. I like it for a potential play to the top. And these bottoming plays, you have a very low risk because you have your stop loss just under the low, and then you have a high reward because you could target the 200-day average, or you could also just target the last high, which would be 445 for Coinbase, and right now we're at 184. So very low risk, high reward if you're willing to hold for months or maybe a year or so. Peace.